we've had a chance to fly the Flyzone Playmate, and Rob, you were the pilot on this one, and let's go ahead and take us down through the model characteristics, build as advertised. You gave it a 5 out of 5?
Well, there's really nothing to build. It comes out of the box ready to roll, pop battery in it after you charge it, and you're in the air.
You seem almost disappointed like that.
No, not at all. I even though I enjoy building when you don't have to.
You don't feel a little let down when you just got to pop a battery in it?
Not at all.
Not at this point?
Not at this point, no.
All right. Finish, you gave it a 4 out of 5?
Yeah, it's got a nice clean paint job on it on top of the raw white foam. It's attractive. I'm a sucker for blue.
There you go.
That's all. It's what more does it
pleasing. It calms you down while you're flying.
It does. Yeah. It does. Puts me in my
your place.
Spot.
Your happy spot. Power, you gave it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, it's amply powered for what it is.
Kind of like a Cessna or a Cub or something like that. A passenger high wing.
Well, the Playmate's reminiscent of the first generation of micros that came out. It really is.
It has that old school kind of feel to it.
It does, and it's got a lot of the basic characteristics that the original first run of micros had, and it flies accordingly so,
and
which
that's
is
what
not
made
bad.
micros popular.
Exactly. It's got your under-camber wing, your dihedral, everything you would expect from those earlier runs.
Yep. Now we got ground handling. You gave it 3.5 out of 5.
It doesn't have a steerable tail wheel. It's got a skid. You are relying on a very small rudder with prop wash. Right. It is controllable. The surface in which you're taking off is going to have a lot to do with it. If you're on rough concrete, the tails are going to want to slide around as easy as it would on smooth. But it's controllable.
All right, and finally, durability. You give it a 4 out of 5.
Durability is always an issue with micros. This style of micro tends to be a little more durable than some of the newer ones because they're not as intricate as the newer ones are getting.
Assuming you chop the throttle.
Oh yeah, always chop the throttle, obviously, when you go in to avoid damaging the motor. But
yeah. All right, moving on to pilot experience. Flight as advertised, you give it a 4.5 out of 5.
You know, I still enjoy taking this style of plane out in an evening right before dusk and just flying it.
Tossing it, relaxing.
It's a lot of fun. You don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you've got some experience. As a new beginner, it's docile enough to where it's not going to bite you real hard. Any plane is going to feel like a bad bite for a newbie. You know, but this one is pretty.
How's the pitch response though? I haven't actually had a chance to fly the Playmate yet.
The pitch response it's there as far as you give it a lot of throttle, it's going to climb.
Okay, a little baloney. You'd expect from under camber.
When you pull back on that throttle, you're not finding the nose dipping it and have to readjust up and down. It settles in pretty decent.
Good. Okay, flight time, you gave it a 5 out of 5.
These things run forever on. I mean, you got to consider the first runs of early micros were what, right around a 70 milliamp battery.
Yeah.
Now we're talking 130 as a standard, really.
With the same or less power consumption.
You got it. So you're getting a long run time.
The field size, I almost skipped up there. Field size, gymnasium or a yard. Side yard, backyard?
A side yard, it's got some room to it. You don't want any trees as obstacles or anything that you really have to yank on this thing to keep it in bounds. Give yourself a little bit of room, especially if you're a beginner. In a gym it would be very comfortable in.
Yeah, it'd be a fun gym flyer.
It would.
And even like a little middle school gym too.
Exactly.
I'd imagine with that layout. Portability, you give it a 5 out of 5.
Drops right in the box, close the lid, and off you go.
Don't even have to take the landing gear off, right?
Nope.
It's just pretty much drop it in and go.
Drop it in.
Skill level then you have as a beginner.
Sure.
Now, as a beginner, say somebody that's never ever flown before, with the Playmate's characteristics in the air and knowing what all we know about the different micros, how would you kind of quantify that beginner skill level placement on the Playmate?
Well, one thing that you're going to find is if you've never flown it before, first of all, you have no idea what the plane's doing to begin with. So one thing that you're going to notice is increased throttle is going to raise that nose up and it's going to climb. That's good to get you out of trouble. It's also bad for understanding how it's related to pitch.
A quick stall.
Put you in a quick stall for sure. The dihedral is going to be a little funky until you learn how to fly and what it's doing. But it's also what makes it stable. It'll settle right back into a nice even plane.
So when we look at beginner, intermediate, and advanced, we always have that slider that goes beginner all the way to beginner intermediate. Where would this kind of fall?
I really don't think we would be doing it justice if we said you had to have some skill to fly this. I really don't think you do.
So you could just, if you're landing on soft grass or crashing on soft grass,
exactly,
you might actually be able to teach yourself.
I think you would be able to teach yourself quite nicely with this plane.
Okay. Well, that wraps up our review. The only thing that we did have to do, of course, of this being a TXR plane, is we had to bind our AnyLink module, which is a very short couple-step process, and it was pretty much flawless. As soon as you bound it, everything was mapped out, and it worked great. So that was really a good experience overall, and that actually played into the build as advertised as well. It scored very high for that. So If you want to see the full review, you can go to our website at tubefly.com. For our mobile users, you can go to rcflightsource.com and download the mobile app, and you have all this content on the go, as well as some exclusive content like our tools, field locator, and also our parts locator. I'm Kurt with Two Brothers Hobby.
And I'm Rob. Thanks for watching.